Oh my gosh, am I talking? Yes. I am finally making a video where I'm actually saying something, guys. Yeah. It's been a long time since I actually decided to make a video where I'm actually talking and it's not just a speed paint. But anyway, I thought it'd be really cool to do a voiceover for another speed paint to show you guys my process. So if you want to see how I did it, stay tuned. So this is a speed paint of a Draw This in Your Style challenge that I did by Crisp Corn, I believe, on Instagram. And so for this one, I kind of wanted to go more realistic than most of my drawings, because most of my drawings are like super cartoony because I'm too lazy to actually do realism. But anyway, so I started off by doing the sketch, obviously. I start with a circle, do a line down the middle, and then for where the eyes are placed, I put another line across. And I was actually copying a reference for this pose. I will add that in the video afterwards. But yeah, so I started off by drawing the eyes, very slanted eyes, like I always do. And you will see some of the little tweaks I do with the face because sometimes I'm too lazy to actually try to perfectly draw them in. So I'll kind of draw them slanted and then use like the transform tool or something and then fix it. So that's why I like digital better than traditional. So then I'm trying to get the proportions right, so I kind of draw like a upside down, what is it called, like a parallelogram or something, for like a cone kind of shape to where the eyebrows are at the top and then the lips go at the very bottom. And for the proportions of the face, I usually make sure that the eyes aren't too big and that there's a little space on the sides of the, the face, but I like to draw big eyes, so that's a problem for me sometimes with realism. So now I'm adding in the little details like the butterflies and everything. So now I'm just adding on the flats layer. Well, actually I put my flats in multiple layers. So I'll put like the color of the hair in one layer, the color of the skin in one layer, so that it'll be easier to paint when I go on to try to more render it instead of having to like figure out, oh, am I putting this color here, and everything get jumbled up and messed up. So here I restarted putting the flats down again. That's because I'm trying to figure out what type of colors do I want to do, and also how am I gonna paint it? Because I was trying to figure out how to do more realistic type drawings, but I see a lot of artists on YouTube. There's one artist that I'm thinking of right now. I can't think of her name. Crap. Okay, I'll just put that on at somewhere in the description, or I'll just add it later. So she kind of uses a soft round brush, and then she paints in the shadows and everything like that. And it really is really pretty, and it's not like a definite shape for the flats. Does that make any sense? She kind of just like paints it in and then makes it more defined later. So I was trying to figure out, do I want a more defined flats layer and more defined shapes in my drawing and then blend it, or do I want to do it like her to where she uses more of a round soft brush? So yeah, so that's what I was doing here. So in this video, you're going to see like a lot of me just playing with shadows and where I want to make the lighting and everything, because I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted the lighting to be here either, because I hadn't found a reference for that yet. But I will put that reference somewhere too. So now you're just going to see me play with shadows and contouring and things for the next 2 minutes or so. Okay, so here I figured out how I wanted to do the hair, and that's actually how I've been doing all of my drawings after this for the hair. So what I do is I'll do the flat layer first, and then I'll make another layer, use a clipping mask so I won't draw out of the flats layer, and then I like to block out big shapes in the hair. So like in a certain area, I'll make like a triangle shape to show the lighting, and then later I'll go back and redefine that, and so where it doesn't look as blocky. Does that make any sense? Okay, so here I found a reference, and I was trying to copy the reference, the lighting in the reference the best I could, but then I realized maybe that lighting was a little too harsh for, you know, the kind of vibe I was going for. So I found another reference and then changed up the lighting a little bit. Made it more soft instead of so harsh. So when I try to do more like realism type of things, I like to find both a reference for, you know, a face that I want to kind of copy for the character, and also the lighting I want to do. So let's say I'm drawing like a flower girl or something, and maybe she's more like a younger type of character. I'll find a reference online of a girl with more of like a round face, and then I'll use her as kind of the base, not necessarily drawing her, but I'll use her as like the reference for the either the pose or like the face shape. And then for the lighting, I'll go and find another reference that has like, you know, like a more soft lighting that I think would match this character pretty well. And then I'll have both references to the side so that I can see them and then get the vibe I want for my character in the drawing I'm doing. So after I finally laid down the shadows, right now I added in the lighting, and so what I did is I drew like just a shape for the lighting instead of making like painting it in with a soft round brush. I made a definite shape, and then I smoothed it out and blended it in with the blending tool in Procreate. And I'm doing the same for her like collarbone area and her shoulders. I'm just adding in the lighter color and then using the blending tool to kind of blend that out so it's not as harsh. Also, I kind of saw some like mistakes, and so a great tool for fixing mistakes in Procreate and mostly any digital program is the transform tool and the liquify tool. They're amazing, oh my gosh. So a few times in my drawing I realized that her face was like weirdly proportioned on the bottom and it was like tilting weird, so I used the liquify tool to kind of like smooth it back a little bit so that it looks more normal. Just trying to like figure out how I want to shape the mouth, because honestly for the hair and the mouth in my drawings I don't really know how I want to go forward doing that, because I don't want it to be super realistic but something kind of in between, so you might see a lot of different variations in the future. Just a heads up. Now I'm going in to add the shadows in the top of the hair in a darker purple. And I actually think I have a lot of people have been asking me about how I choose colors for either shadows and things like that. I do have a tutorial about that on my DeviantArt. It's the same as my Instagram and the same as my YouTube, MJ Galanex. And I explain how I do that with like kind of color theory. I'm not like an expert, but this is just how I do it. I just realized I kind of wanted something a little more dramatic with the lighting, so you'll see me in a little bit go and make a new layer, and then I basically flattened out the entire image and then made I think it's a hard light layer over it. Yeah, hard light layer, and then I erased the areas that are going to be lighter so that you can see the light. And that is a really awesome way of doing lighting if you don't really want to paint it. Kind of a cheat, but it's really cool. Not really a cheat, it's just a really cool like shortcut. So yeah, they're really good. So yeah, that's it guys. Thank you for watching, and I hope my explained anything and now you understand what I was thinking through this whole drawing process. But in the future I plan to make like another tutorial video or like a more in-depth process of how I draw, so stay tuned for that. But thank you for watching guys. Bye.